Those who love Milwaukee know every neighborhood has its own essence, its own vibe, its personality to attract residents, businesses, visitors, and tourists. What is that for Clarke Square? We might not all be thinking the same thing here. That's the community challenge at hand. How can Clarke Square form its own identity as it sits between Walker's Point and Silver City? Neighborhoods who are developing their own vibe in a very cool way. Clarke Square, this wonderful Milwaukee neighborhood nestled in between Layton Boulevard and Cesar Chavez, Pierce Street, and Greenfield Avenue, has National Avenue. At its heart, it's the lifeblood for community gatherings, faith communities, nonprofits, businesses, foot traffic, car traffic, bike traffic, and more. In the next few minutes, dive in with us through the spirit and history and present and future of Clarke Square. Let's imagine together Clarke Square launching National Avenue as a destination for international art and culture. InterNATIONal Avenue. It's something vital to Milwaukee's growth and culture, and Clarke Square is the best neighborhood in Milwaukee to do this.
Since its beginning, Clarke Square has been a welcoming neighborhood for an international community, starting with a diverse group of Europeans to its present, more international flavor. It's basically been, and continues to be, Milwaukee's Ellis Island. Census data tells us that Clarke Square's population is 73% of Hispanic origin. The fact that census data also show that nearly 43% of the population is white, and 34% is of other race, shows us that the Hispanic community is itself a diverse community. And while only being 3.4% of the population, the growing and diverse Asian community has already left its mark on the neighborhood. These numbers are a way that we can begin to understand the Clarke Square neighborhood, but it's just a sketch. In order to truly understand the neighborhood and see the beautiful tapestry that it has woven, we need to go beyond the numbers and take a look at the stories the people tell and the actual place they live in. Clarke Square is filled with business owners, artists, and continues to open its arms to new residents regardless of where they come from. It has incredible community organizations that, just like its residents, work hard to make their community constantly better despite its challenges, and provide support for people who, just like us, need help from time to time. This is a neighborhood that at its heart beats its namesake, Clarke Square Park, a pioneering park that has influenced the way the city and the county have viewed parks and open spaces for its people. It's also blessed with Mitchell Park and its legendary domes. Bisecting the neighborhood is National Avenue, a main transit corridor for the neighborhood and the city. The amount of traffic that runs through National Avenue is both an asset and a liability. It has been identified as a high crash corridor by the City of Milwaukee's pedestrian plan, which for a neighborhood that is more transit reliant than others according to census data, is very concerning. Fortunately, with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation announcing its investment of $23.3 million for the reconstruction of National Avenue, along with the City of Milwaukee's Complete Streets policy that ensures that city streets are planned for all users, and not just cars, this is the perfect opportunity to reimagine National Avenue as a true asset for the residents of Clarke Square.
Two essential assets in the community are its diversity and the presence of passionate artists. So how do we utilize those assets, plus the upcoming reconstruction opportunity on National Avenue, to help differentiate Clarke Square from surrounding neighborhoods? Our idea is InterNATIONal Avenue, the Clarke Square Neighborhood Art Project. This arts initiative can help elevate Clarke Square as a destination for international art and culture and involves bringing art to the community.
As a part of our research, we spoke with community members because, after all, they are the experts. And one conversation really solidified the importance of art in empowering and transforming a community. Neighbors Lori Gramling, Ramona Johnson, and Lucas Alamo started the 26th Street Project in the Clarke Square neighborhood a few years ago. Lori said, "Beautiful public images can inspire, strengthen, and comfort a community. For instance, Philadelphia's Magic Garden, a public immersive mixed media art installation, draws thousands of visitors a year.
Because National Avenue is a unifying asset for neighborhoods like Clarke Square, Layton Boulevard, Chavez Drive, and essential Latinx organizations and businesses, it is vital to position InterNATIONal Avenue as a synergy that builds community momentum through art, cultural appreciation, and entrepreneurial opportunities. The InterNATIONal Avenue strategic approach is based in 3 actions: to create, connect, and empower. Create a sense of identity through small, engaging, collaborative art projects that leave a lasting impact in the community. connect essential organizations, businesses, and neighbors, creating a unified neighborhood voice through neighborhood meetings and events. Expanding the success of Clarke Square's Ciclovia to including events centered around local artists and entrepreneurial opportunities for neighbors, and to empower neighbors to make sure their voices are heard in the reconstruction project. The international vision for National Avenue in Clarke Square leverages the strong, relevant, and important neighborhood quality of life plan developed by the Clarke Square Neighborhood Initiative. Our phased approach identifies specific opportunities for neighborhood beautification and social connections as informed by resident, business, and community members' needs and ideas.
So what other types of art would our art project bring to National? Imagine the crosswalks are painted to display the flags of countries that the neighbors of Clarke Square are from. These would be temporary and national until the reconstruction of the street, and not only would this beautify National Avenue, but could encourage greater walkability. Stumbling upon a payphone feels like an archaeological find. Another project could be to transform the old payphones along National Avenue and even repurpose them to tell real immigrant stories. In addition, our art project would involve creating new murals and updating old gems. Combining pragmatism and art could mean new signs that guide folks to the amazing assets nearby. Did you know that there's not a single sign along National that tells commuters and residents the domes and a beautiful park are literally a block north? Our project would update signage. Lastly, our initiative would include beautifying public infrastructure, including bus stops. Let's let Milwaukeeans wait among art.
Clarke Square has all the characteristics to lead the way in launching Milwaukee's InterNATIONal Avenue. By investing in neighborhood beautification focused on an international vibe and social connections to bring people together around culture and diversity, Clarke Square will create long-lasting positive impact for local neighbors, Greater Milwaukee residents, and even attract positive national attention.
Are you starting to see how a culturally focused corridor can attract investments in business, tourism, and community interaction? Like we've seen in other cities around the country, a community that's rooted in art, cultural heritage, and vibrant interactions bring a significant long-term value to both the city and the neighborhood. In collaboration with our team, the 26th Street Project has agreed to design and construct a community-engaging mosaic along National Avenue. They're simply just looking for a space. This, combined with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation's investment in National Avenue, the timing and feasibility couldn't be any better. Now is the time for action. With your vote and working with these stakeholders, we can leverage the existing assets in Clarke Square to increase visibility in the neighborhood's culture and art. We, together, can make this a reality.
This idea was born from dialogue and listening to neighbors, friends, businesses, and outstanding leaders in our community. Thank you to each and every one of you who challenge us to think big, get creative, and dig deeper to create something with long-standing value for Clarke Square. While COVID-19 has stopped a lot within our communities, it hasn't stopped our passion for making our neighborhoods a great place to live, play, and work. Thank you for considering our idea, and we look forward to all of your feedback and your votes.